Welcome to Combat Elements. My name is Ryan Birmingham, and these videos are dedicated to promoting and sharing the principles of self-defense and personal growth. Peter Friedman, my martial arts teacher and mentor since 2000, has shared these principles with me, enriching my life. I'm here today to share them with you. Okay, we're going to do something a little bit different with the flow drill today. I'm going to show it with Barden real quick on camera. So we're gonna talk a little bit about parry checks and wedges. How to wedge, right? You can call it a wedge, or you can call it a plow, or you can call it a slide, whatever you want to call it. Different systems of martial arts sometimes call it a different things. Typically in Tetsugo Jiu-Jitsu we call it a slide, but you'll hear it sometimes called a wedge.
Oh, that feels better. How's that feel? Feels like it's pushing right into that back foot. Ready? Try again. Oh, nice. Until that elbow starts to bend. Thanks.
So what we're going to work today is I just want to put your mind into what you're doing off of that second foot movement where you're coming in. So when Barden comes in for the punch to the nose, right, we're going to, instead of knocking on the door, we'll just do this so far. We're going to parry with our left hand. And what we're going to do is forget about this strike for now and just circle this underneath. Circle this underneath and snake to the outside of the tricep tendon. Now, look at my arm, right? It's on almost a 45-degree angle, but it's a little bit further than a 45-degree angle, and my elbow is in, like that. So your elbow, right? Your elbow can be in, or it can be out on a little bit of an angle, and it can be out on a 45-degree angle. When he comes in, we're gonna check, parry, and look at my arm, right? So what we're doing on the second foot movement, where we go check, parry, and we're stepping in, is we're doing this plowing type of motion, right? So you have this 45-degree angle where you're plowing into his center line to kazushi him, or off balance him, or unbalance him backwards. So when he comes in, and what you do is this is going off of a 45 right here into his center, right? Like this. So it's not a 90-degree angle like that, right? And it's not completely straight, because if it was completely straight, you can counter me with his arm. It's controlling his arm. It's controlling his arm with this 45-degree angle. Like that. So it's another way to look at what that second foot movement within the motion is. Here, right, to the outside of the arm, right, and then you come in and plow. Right here. So it's not exactly going straight in, it's going on an angle, right? But it's still controlling the arm, so it's like a 45-degree angle. If your elbow is pointed to the outside, like this, that's something different. Again, you're not really controlling the elbow. He can bend his elbow and get me with his elbow with a counter there. So I'm here, and I can plow in. And as you plow in, you can break ankles or legs or whatever you want here, or just foot trap. See that foot trap right there, right? I can also enter in and then foot trap the other foot, or take the angle out. But I'm controlling the arm with this plow. So that's just another way to look at the beginning of a flow drill. When he comes in with let's say he comes in with a haymaker shot, right? This isn't the beginning of the flow drill right here. Obviously, like, this is somebody that doesn't know what they're doing. They're coming out with a wide energy, so it's just somebody coming in with a wild energy. You can move directly in not into the punch, but into his arm, and use a plow to deflect the punch. So when he comes in, right? See what it does? So let's do that in slow motion. So when he comes in, I'm not going into the punch. I'm going into his arm right here, right? So this is only one of our rules of thumb is always get out of the way and try. And the goal is to get to the outside of the attack. So when he comes in, I want to get to the outside of the attack. I want to get to the outside of the attack. I want to. This is the goal. I want to get out here, right? I want to move and attack him from an angle out to the side. Sometimes that's not always possible, so you have to practice what you do to the inside. So sometimes my back might be up against the wall, or I can't move backwards. So when he comes in, I have to move in, and that's something you can do. So I'm not blocking it. Not blocking it like that. That's clashing energy. Energy sliding this way. See that? It's sliding. It's sliding. It's sliding. Sometimes it catches. Sometimes it catches like that, and sometimes it slides. Like, depending on. So if I make the angle a little bit wider like this, elbow still down, the punch will slide that way, and you can go into something there. But sometimes it catches, and you're on the top, and you'll catch it further back this way. Okay. Either way, you can make something work, but you're not clashing. You're not clashing like this. So that's one plow. You could do a plow when you're blending too. So when he's coming in. So instead of me coming in this way, if I have room to the side this way, you can blend with it. So that's a plow with a strike to the mastoid muscle, right? The carotid artery. So it's not this, right? It's a plow, and this would be a strike to a muscle, right? I'm not doing it purposely to save Barton's arm, but I would actually plow it into his bicep or into his anterior deltoid muscle, right? So I'm saving his muscle, so I'm doing it in the crook of his arm. But you would actually hit that, and you would hit that at the same time, and you blend with it. So, boom, right there. You could blend with it. There's all kinds of. You could do a Tayatoshi right there. You could do shoulder locks, whatever you want right there. So, just another thing to think of. So, I'm only using it in the context of if you can't get to the outside of the person's attack and flank them, you have to either go straight in or you have to go around them to the inside.